Joining me to discuss that and what's next for the GLP-1 market is Emily Field, head of European Pharma Equity Research at Barclays. Emily, great day. So glad you could join us. Why is Novo down so much on this news?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I think, one thing I've learned covering the space now for a while is that so much of, these clinical trial readouts are just about expectation setting. And, the company has published a lot of phase 1, phase 2 data for this drug such that they set this bar of 25%. And it looks very, very achievable. So, this is still going to be a fantastic drug, one of maybe could still be the best out there. We still have to see the full data. But they didn't meet the bar that they'd set. So that is why the shares are reacting so sharply negatively today.
It just seems ridiculous. I mean, what is the kind of number for the leaders of the pack are currently Ozempic and Mounjaro, right? How much body weight percentage are those drugs typically shedding?
Yeah, so for Wegovy, which is the Ozempic version for just weight loss, it's about 15–16%. Zepbound from Lilly, it's about 20, maybe a little over percent. So I think one of the other reasons that the shares are reacting sharply today is that it's not completely clear, is this going to be a drug that's better than Zepbound or not? Does this put Novo ahead of Lilly? We can't say that just yet.
Which would certainly explain why Lilly shares are up 3.5%. Although, again, you'd think, well, if that's the whole issue, then they should be up a lot more than that. You think we're at an inflection point, though, for the space more broadly. How so?
Yeah, because I think that though obviously today was a huge disappointment, there's been a lot of good news for the obesity space in recent weeks. One thing that came out just yesterday is the FDA ruled that compounding is probably going to have to come to an end for Lilly's drug. These are these kind of bootleg versions of the drug that are available at med spas because they said Lilly now has enough supply to supply the market for the foreseeable future. And also Novo was able to close their transaction to purchase Catalent, which is going to allow them to dramatically expand their manufacturing. And so we're going to be in a really increased supply situation. So that could mean that just a lot more people are going to be able to get access to these drugs in the U.S.
Does that mean price is coming down? And how is the science of these drugs changing as well? So the leaders are still these injectables, but we've been hearing about pill forms coming. And was CagriSema, if I'm saying it correctly, how was that distributed, or what made that different from the leaders currently on the market?
Yeah, so this is Novo's first combination drug. So it's basically the same dose, same drug as Wegovy, plus another drug called cagrilintide. And the thought was that those two are synergistic and can lead to more weight loss. And yes, all of the sort of high efficacy treatments today are all an injectable. If you take them once a week, it's pretty easy. But there's a huge debate of could orals open up this market to a big degree? And the next data point on that will be an Eli Lilly drug called orforglipron that should have results in April of 2025.
Are there any other names, Pfizer, for instance, that come to mind who could who could in some way vault to the leadership of this field, or is it pretty much set, do you think?
Oh, yeah, there's really been an arms race to sort of enter this market. We think and have a house view that Novo and Lilly are going to remain the leaders because they have this manufacturing edge and an innovation edge. But we've seen Roche, AstraZeneca, U.S. Merck just did a deal with a Chinese company for an oral GLP-1 earlier this week. Pfizer's working on some things internally. So other players will certainly enter this market. It will get more crowded, but we think that that's still a few years away.
And quickly, because you do think the inflection point could be increased supply, should that mean we can expect maybe some downward price pressure finally?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that's been a little bit of a reset in both Novo and Lilly is that net prices in the U.S. have come down a little bit more sharply than I think we were anticipating at the beginning of the year. However, as long as they can make up for that in volume, which they've done in the type 2 diabetes market, which preceded obesity, it still should mean double-digit sales growth for many years to come for both companies.